Assalamualaikum guys, thank you guys, and welcome to AM to PM show. This show is about very people just like you, who have interesting stories, interesting information to share to inspire. So my name is Fauzi, your host for the next few minutes, and join me as we go on this journey. But today is a little bit different than before. Because why? Because we are on live, guys, on live. So we are on live talk show. Because why? Because it's 2020. There is one virus coming 2020 that affects the world. Wow, what is this? So it is coronavirus. Yes, coronavirus, and today we are here to discuss. We want to discuss about the virus, and we are here not only want to discuss about the virus, but we would like to discuss the impact of this virus on the aviation industry. So the topic today is airline versus COVID-19. So the COVID-19 pandemic is having an enormous impact on aviation industry. For example, affecting passenger traffic, air cargo demand, airport workforce, coming revenues. Now, we are invited for distinguished guests. So the first guest is Datuk Zamzuri bin Abdul Hafiz as a representative from Board of Director of Malaysia Airports Worldwide. Okay, so
Waalaikumsalam. Thank you, Mr. Fazli.
okay, the next guest is Tan Sri Dr. Anthony Francis Fernandez as a CEO of Air Asia. Welcome, Tan Sri.
Hi, and a very good morning to Mr. Fazli and the audience. I am Tony Fernandez, the CEO of Aviation Company. First of all, thank you for inviting me today and giving me the opportunity to talk about my company, AirAsia. I believe today's topic will be aviation versus COVID-19, right? COVID-19 gave a big impact to the aviation field. Most of the airline companies in the world had to cut the salary of their staffs because there is no profit during this COVID-19 outbreak. So, I will talk more about my company and what did the COVID-19 give impact to us.
And then we have Datuk Alvin bin Marano as a chairman of Air Asia. So, assalamualaikum, Datuk.
Waalaikumsalam. Thank you.
And last but not least, we have a geophysics student from Wuhan University, which is S. Balachandran.
Alright, thank you, Mr. Fazli.
Without wasting our time, I would like to ask Datuk Zamzuri. Datuk, now airports are the place that many passengers from abroad who return to Malaysia, right? So, how did you handle passengers' healthcare during this pandemic?
Yeah, that's right. So, first of all, on behalf of the Malaysia Airport Berhad, we are now collaborating with the Ministry of Malaysia, MOH, in order to fight with the pandemic COVID-19. After researching a few procedures, there were several pretty safety precautions that we need to follow as it required in the guideline. For example, the thermal scanners were placed at the airport, facilitating its personnel to perform manual temperature screening for all international arriving passengers and the flight crews at the international airports in Malaysia. Okay, so for example, if the passengers arrive from the United States, from United Kingdom, from China, Japan, Korea, and Singapore, they are required to be screened as it follows the guideline. Okay, so the location for the thermal scanners is at the satellite building, the international transfer border, immigration counters, on the sky bridge, and next at the arrival hall. Yes, there's lots of space, I know. Okay. Next, our airline partners are making the necessary announcement to their passengers on board and distributing the Health Alert Card (HAC) issued by the Ministry of Health Malaysia for passengers to declare the current state of health. Okay, for those who are having a fever or cough or facing difficulties in breathing, they will be immediately brought to the nearest hospital upon their arrival. And for those who are international flight passengers, they will be quarantined at the selected hotels upon their arrival. The Ministry of Health will provide the transport to bring those passengers to the nearest hotel for 14 days of quarantine. For example, the hotel that we are collaborating with is the hotel Le Meridian at Putrajaya, Ibis Hotel at Kuala Lumpur, even our airlines hotel, Sama-Sama Hotel and Tune Hotels.
Alright, thank you, Dato. So next, we go to Sri Traditional. What do Asia suffers during this pandemic COVID-19? I wonder, what about the passengers who have already made an initial payment to their destination?
Asia suffers a lot during this COVID-19 pandemic worldwide because most of our strong fleet across our network need to be grounded as we need to obey the government MCO rule. A total of 255 strong fleet was grounded during this COVID-19 outbreak. Asia will temporarily suspend all the international and domestic flights until the MCO period has ended. I, on behalf of Asia, want to make an apologize to all of our affected guests as we need to cancel all of their flight tickets. We will do our best to make a full refund to our affected guests, and we will notify them by email or SMS as soon as the refund process has been completed. Asia always places the safety and well-being of its guests as its top priority. We are very sorry if there are any deficiency in our services. We believe this temporary fleet hibernation is the right thing to do to ensure their well-being. We will continue to evaluate the situation closely, and we are prepared to reinstate our services as soon as the situation improves. However, our online marketplace, cargo, and logistic platform will remain operational to transport medical aid and protective equipment for hospitals and frontliners at selected destinations. Asia had a total loss of 384.5 million and I think on revenue of RM 3.36 billions. I guess that is the amount. We had a challenging start to 2020 with the COVID-19 outbreak, and we are likely to miss our own internal target for 2020. I am grateful that our spirits are high as our company strives to continue business as usual in the future. We are also engaging with industry stakeholders and authorities for incentives, discounts, and rebates. As part of our containment and management, our management personnel and senior employees have volunteered for a salary cut from 100% at the very top to 15%. This will help to ensure that we can ride out this prolonged period of extremely low travel demand and at the same time minimize the impact on our employees, especially those in junior positions. We will recover as soon as possible and come out stronger as we have shown in previous aviation shocks.
Wow, this is an interesting explanation by Sri. Yes. So next we proceed to our channel, Dato kemudian I would like to ask you what helps did AirAsia has been issued to the flyers.
During pandemic, AirAsia has the initiative to help to lessen the burden faced by the frontliners, especially doctors. AirAsia had done individual initiative headed by the head of engineering of AirAsia, also known as Nazri, to invent and innovate our solution which already operate and achieve its regulatory certificate.
How the isolation works?
So the solution will be able to assist and expedite in fighting this COVID-19 war. We are focusing on bringing all COVID-19 cases in one spot. This will avoid cross-contamination with other non-COVID-19 cases at the hospital. For example, we have in some of the petition that patient with COVID-19 does not want to queue at the emergency department with other non-uncontaminated patients.
Okay, thank you, Dato. So next, Mr. Balachandran, since you are the one who studies at China, so can you share a little bit about your life during the lockdown?
Okay, firstly, I will share about what I do in Wuhan. Okay. Firstly, the COVID-19 is really shocked us because it is the cause of the disease begin at the country I live and the state that I live. This is Wuhan. I can't believe I end my last year in here with a very massive memory. Okay, when China government declared lockdown, the thing gets crowded in my head as we know that this is my first time to experience it and I did not prepare any food to overcome this lockdown. So in the supermarket, the Chinese community do the panic buying as they could not predict when the China took off its order. About the routine every day, actually it was a same routine every day. I wake up, drink and eat, but sometimes usually in the morning I will look out the window to see how the people moving. As we can see, there are no movement there and the people very took all the precaution to prevent this disease to spread all over the Wuhan. In my college, there are 200 students which stay here, did not go anywhere because the university told us to stay in the hostel. The official would come to update us of any information regarding of the disease, and the university workers always come in the morning and the evening to clean up the public areas such as the lecture hall and the lecture room. So we can see that the people really need to keep hygiene, not only their body but all their place. Okay. As for food and drink, we have to settle it ourselves. However, the official they provide us with masks. In the meantime, I only have a plenty of instant noodle and only a few bottle of milk to survive for 15 days.
Okay, sorry for Mr. Balachandran. Okay, now we're back to Dato Zamsri. So, Dato, can you tell the people out there about MAHB effort of fighting this pandemic crisis?
Okay, from the Malaysia airports, our effort to help the country to fight the pandemic crisis are by providing the masks and hand sanitizers for the staff to use and place them strategically across the terminal. Okay, so like we all know, the Malaysia airports have lots of terminals, so we place all of them at the terminal. Okay, so the Malaysia airport would like to remind the travelling public to be safe and responsible by wearing a mask at all times and to use hand sanitizers to maintain maximum hygiene during the outbreak. In the line of the implementation of the Movement Control Order (MCO) by the government, we have put in place measures to promote social distancing. Okay, you guys are well-known, right, with social distancing. We have started putting markers of 1 meter each gap on the floors at the check-in, immigration and custom queuing areas. Likewise, gaps also introduced in lift at the airport seating so the people can use them as a guide in practicing social distancing.
So next, that's really to us. Is there anything that AirAsia are doing during this COVID-19 outbreak?
Basically, there are several things that we are doing during this COVID-19 outbreak. One of it is we launched a digital campaign to help vulnerable communities impacted by the COVID-19 pandemic. All of the donations will be given to the social enterprises and charities such as Perak State Parks, Seed Foundation, and Beyond Borders Malaysia. They provide food and medical aid to orang asli families, people without permanent shelter, as well as refugees. Besides, we are also opening up our ecosystem and making its resources available to all local businesses affected by the COVID-19 pandemic. We have Save Our Shops campaign at the Peninsula Malaysia for us to help as many local small businesses as possible during the current crisis. We have the right platform and infrastructure, and during this travel downtime, what a better way to put our resources to good use is by lending a helping hand to those who need it. They can see our e-commerce platform, our shop, hosted on the aasia.com website for traders and businesses. Products sold through our shop will be delivered via teleport, the logistic arm of the airlines. They are enabled to sign up at zero commission and zero listing fee to market their products in our shop for the whole month of April. However, for each sale that are being made, they need to cover charges of 2% for every banking transaction. It is a tough time for all, and we want to help anyone who owns a business, especially local businesses.
Okay, thank you, Tan Sri, for the explanation. So we proceed to Dato' Kamil. Can you tell more concept about the isolation that you explained just now, and where is this isolation will be allocated?
So the initial concept is actually from South Korea using a cell phone booth for swab tests. It has 3 booths attached to each other and completely fitted with the latest technology, and this model also have its negative and positive air pressure system, which will make the airflow clean and disinfected. So the concept that we have done is actually from container, and we had done several testing, fitting and commissioning at the factory, and so far this thing gave more positive feedbacks than a negative one. Okay, the solution will be allocated to the only certain area only since the early model functioning while waiting the other model to be assembled. There are a few places targeted to place the solution, which is one in Klinik Kesihatan Kuala Lumpur, one in Hospital Sungai Buloh, and one in Klinik Kesihatan Selangor. So the requirement to make this solution nationwide is we will need some high amount of crowdfunding for material and equipment. The manufacturing process also going to take some time.
Alright, now I understand. Okay, thank you, Dato'. So next, we move to Mr. Balachandran. So Mr. Balachandran, I think there were more students, Malaysian students, we study in Wuhan, right? So how did you all come back to Malaysia, and when?
Regarding on the Malaysian movement government to us, the government put a strict order, such as that we require to go to a health screening before and after we depart. Okay, the health screening take place at the Wuhan Tianhe International Airport. We also have to sit on a social distancing way and wearing a mask. Okay, the flight attendants also wear the PPE suit to protect their body from the disease, from the virus. Because the virus we can see, right? Okay, to those who have symptoms, they will be immediately transferred to the hospital in China, while to be observation for 14 days. On 3 February, the flight in Wuhan land in Malaysia. However, we did not enter the terminal building or airport. There's a special bus which is which is from the KKM or Ministry of Health to air disaster unit leading to decontamination process and entry screening. Was some of procedure that conducted by the Ministry of Health. Okay, if one of us have the symptom, we will be taken away to the referral hospital either Hospital Sungai Buloh or Hospital Kuala Lumpur. Okay. While the other that did not have any symptom, they will be quarantined in a specific place for 14 days, and they will be home after they test negative for this virus.
Thank you, Mr. Balachandran, for sharing your story to us. So now we are at the end of the show. Now we go to the Q&A from one of the viewers. So there is one question for Badrul Hakim. So the question is for Mr. Balachandran. So is there any Malaysian students that affected to this virus? So Mr. Balachandran.
Alright, thanks for your question. So far that there are no students from Wuhan get infected from the virus. We take all the precaution they provide from the China and Malaysian to keep our body to not get infected.
So we're gonna end this talk show soon. So do you guys have any last words to the people out there? So we start with that. Thank you.
Alright, thank you so much to Mr. Fazli for inviting me to join this show. Despite that we work in the aviation sector, we believe that the small changes that we make, it can help the country in order to cope with the pandemic issue. I think that's all from me. Thank you. Last word from me, stay safe, stay home everyone. Bye.
Okay, welcome back. Thanks for joining my talk show tonight. So next, thanks to
for having me during this talk show and giving me the opportunity to talk. Together we fight to face this COVID-19 outbreak. Stay safe everyone, stay at home and have a good day. Bye.
Thank you. Datuk Panglima, any last word?
I hope we Malaysian and NGO will together help us make this project many more to come. Together we will fight against COVID-19.
Thank you. And last but not least, Mr. Balachandran, any last word to the students out there who study?
Lastly, for the student out there who study abroad, just follow what the nation told you to do. It's because the virus has spread nationwide. It's become a pandemic nowadays. As we can learn from the China, we must keep hygiene and practice social distancing to prevent this to spread. Okay, that's all from me. Thanks.
Okay guys, yeah, thank you very much for the brilliant input. Thank you very much. Before we end the talk show, I would like to thank the three of our guests. So the first one is Dr. Zamri Abdulaziz, Tan Sri, Dr. Fernandez, Dr. Kamaludin Zain, and lastly Mr. S. Balachandran. So there we have it. Aviation sector is important to our tourism future. So we hope that together we can fight to bounce back this pandemic crisis by following all the rules that be instructed by the government. So that's all from me. I'm Fazli again, your host for tonight's online show. So until we meet again in the next show.